It's connecting, I believe.
Here we are.
Yes, great.
We are here. So today, Yarne, I don't know, he got lost somewhere in Egypt.
Yes, it seems that way.
He is in Egypt, so the space is open, and whenever he will join us. But today we just decided that we're gonna show up, me and Roger together, because we have some fabulous things to share, right?
Yes. Well, you too. I mean, this was so fascinating because you were processing through your what you were going through, and we're all going to confront certain things like that. Um,
Yeah.
as we evolve, we start to discover new things about ourselves, and sometimes the old things come up to help us um, remember who we're meant to be here. And that's
Exactly.
we're all on a different journey, and this is the thing that's like happening in our world last night, right now, that is important for us to understand and really own.
Yeah, and like I already mentioned, yesterday I was listening. No, actually, it was today in the morning. I was listening to your session that you posted like a few hours ago. Yeah,
Yes.
so it was your nighttime. I mean, my nighttime. And in the morning when I listened to it, oh my God, that was so powerful. It was really your channeling when Willem was answering questions.
Hmm.
That was really powerful because I think like all the questions that they were asked, it's
Hmm.
exactly the question that every single human being is probably asking at the moment.
And so I have to talk about that. Thank you for bringing it up. So, because I have to be completely honest, I that was 3 years ago. It was April of 2023. And so the reason I posted it yesterday is because I had this thought. I said, is this energetically aligned to what's going on right now in our world? And so I went and I looked because I don't know astrology. I've never studied it, but this is the information I receive, and which is what I receive on any person, the same kind of energetic alignment. And so then they start saying yes, and they started explaining to me exactly why it was related, and it's called the 3 year portal or something, which I couldn't have known. But it says you were putting something in place then, and now it's when it's supposed to come about. And this is where we're supposed to come into owning it. And so then they said I needed to raise my rates. This is the Gemini saying, yes, this is the thing, and now you're supposed to raise your rates. Then I go and I look at the message that I have for tomorrow on on March 31st, and it says, now step into your abundance. I could not explain. That came through last year in 2025. And I
Wow.
explained to people, I received the information like a year beforehand. It's just organized. And I could never explain that. And when I work with someone, for instance, they will send me their birth date, and they have a question or something they want to know, and I'll go and I'll look at information. I'm just led to certain information, and it's always right aligned with we have this energetic DNA. Our when we were born, our astrology, our personal astrology. We don't always figure that out, and I've never studied it, but this information was like that. And so I had to start. You said step up in courage today, so I had to start admitting that, and that's what's in all of the information. All of my work is that's why it works, because it's energetically aligned.
Yeah, that's fascinating that you posted, the video from a few years ago because
Please.
it felt really aligned. And one thing that really struck me, because every time when we are drawn to listen to something or to read something, there is a piece of the puzzle that is hiding there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we are going to discover that. But yeah, there was one sentence. I don't know if you will remember, but it was like, you are not here to be accepted and liked. You are here to, I don't know what was it,
I,
do you remember?
no.
No, okay. I
That's
have to I have to rewatch it, but it's like it was really powerful. So you
okay.
are not here to be accepted.
Huh.
and like, but you are here to, disrupt or something. Like there was this powerful word. I have to rewatch it. So yeah,
And
whoever's watching now, I would really encourage you to check out the latest video that
and
Rod has
that's what
posted.
happens. And I think it was explained in the video. I think they said when I'm channeling, I'm not there.
Hmm.
And so I don't know what's going on. And I have to go back, like you, I have to go back and listen to it and to hear what came through. And I'm going to share this today. I did a little short video. I'm going to put this in there. But in the United States, we have a lot going on. We have the wars, we have all of that stuff. But again, it's energetic changes. And I was given that information and I knew all of that in 2020, which is why I was being encouraged to do this work. And I mean, I held back as well, just we all do. But and they said, but again, you can't have regret on that because we had to go through it. We had to move through what we're experiencing now if we hope to uncover things, change, and create something new. And so, even though I had the information beforehand, um, most people wouldn't have understood it, wouldn't believed it, and it wouldn't have made sense then. Just like when you were listening to that one, no one very few people had seen that video, and at the time it wouldn't have made sense. Now it does.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was also told, and what I really resonated with, that a lot of us, most of us, we are here to bring something into the world that
Yes.
doesn't exist yet. And it has nothing to do with what happened in the past.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with our mind, but it's really something that doesn't exist yet. But
Right.
that can only happen when our hearts are open and, yeah, our intention is pure.
and and then I'm so glad you said that because this is the thing that gave me difficulties because I'm doing something that people hadn't seen or done before, so I'm hiding it because it didn't make sense to me what I was doing. And but we're supposed to create something new. We're supposed to develop new abilities, new skills. And but we're going to be in this place where half the people would want to stay where things were. Just let's just go back to something that was old. Let's just do that. And then the others are like trying to move forward, or trying to do something new, which is called evolution, instead of trying to hang on to something. And that's where we get stuck because we were taught that. We can think back to our ancestors, our parents, or whatever. They knew a certain thing. And then we keep repeating that instead of deciding, no, let's do a new way. Maybe we can understand something differently. And because this is a generational change that we're moving through, all of those issues are coming up as well.
Yeah, amazing. So whoever is watching now, if you have any question, just put it in a
Oh
chat,
yeah.
in a comment. Well, hopefully you're gonna see it because it's live streaming to different channels. But yeah, just say hi that we know that you're on the other side. Um, yeah, very, very powerful energies are are surrounding us,
Hmm.
or we are bathing in very powerful energies. I can say that because I can feel the shifts are happening really fast, but
Exactly.
it really depends on how much we allow ourselves to expand.
Right. And I'm so glad you said that. Because where we are at this moment is we stand at a brink of whether we're going to blow up the planet or cause it to heal.
Yeah,
And that is energetic again. And that's the energy that each of us has. And if we decide that we're going to embrace who we are, our authentic selves, then that's a completely different kind of energy that we'll put into the world rather than the one of fear and doubt where we're holding back. And so, and I've been holding back and I got to keep moving. When I look at the again, thinking about the wars and all these different things that are happening across the world, it's us who are doing it because it's about energy again. Are we going to stay afraid? Are we going to like not own ourselves and allow other? This is why. Oh, well, you wouldn't know this. Maybe you saw it, but we had this. There was this huge demonstration in the United States
I
on
saw.
on Saturday. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And
against kings. Yeah, yeah.
yes, exactly. And so that was individuals awakening. Wait a minute. No, I want to own myself. I want to be who I'm supposed to be. And those are the kinds of generational shifts that we move through. When I first started doing channeling, and this is in 2021 when I was going to do a public one, um, Wilhelm says, well, you're at a place where you don't want to go back to having a king. That's why you broke away from England. That all came out in the first channeling session that I did. And I go, oh, is that what's happening? And they said yes. And then there was something else they brought up too. Oh, about religion. This was the other thing. They said because people we're still supposed to evolve in that realm as well. They talked about uh, Martin Luther back in 500 years or whatever, where he broke away from a realm of where it was only supposed to be one person who had all the ability, had all that. So even in that realm, but then what we've done is we've used it against one another. We've used religion against one another, and so and Wilhelm says this is why we don't even notice the contradictions that we have about certain things, but they change because of power. That's what happens over time. Who's going to control the power? And I did that this morning. I talked about that. The one message I had from 2017 talked about power, money, love, and control. Those are the things that we've used as humans over time to either control one another or become free.
Let me ask you, I don't know if we already talked about this topic, but what does Willem think, or what is your opinion um, about alien disclosure?
About what? Alien?
Alien disclosure.
That came through in that did come through in a couple of sessions actually, because people were asking about that, and they said, well, if that's, I can't remember exactly, but everyone's not going to understand it or go to that place. But the people who are, they're meant to bring a less fear in
Yeah.
acceptance, because they said it's kind of arrogant of us to think that we might be the only people that exist in the entire universe. We,
Yeah, and I believe, I mean, I feel that I'm one of them. I'm
yes,
one of them. I'm one of the beings. I'm one of the people that is holding space for humanity when disclosure will happen.
yes,
Um,
uh,
because all of us who already had contact,
right.
it's
That's
a
yeah.
fact. Yeah.
That's exactly it there, because there were people who were asking questions about that, I think, during a session. And Wilhelm would say, yes, if that's you, then you're supposed to bring a different kind of comfort, so to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
that's wow.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Today I saw a trailer for the movie The Disclosure Day. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's coming out in June.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Mm.
So very interesting, very, very powerful about hybrids, about, that aliens are
Right.
already here. They are all around us. They are among us. And I really resonated with that. So that's going to be pretty interesting time for us, probably.
And this is the interesting thing. If we can think, and this is what, and I never got this before. When I go back and listen to the channeling sessions, it comes through and it makes more sense. But they would always say, okay, I'm going to try to explain this in my Roger awareness, that we are all consciousness,
Hmm.
and so that consciousness always exists. It doesn't go anywhere. Even when someone dies, for instance, sometimes we say they made a transition. Well, to where? Just into a different level of consciousness. But we are stuck in our physical bodies, and that's what we're hanging on to, because it gives us this sense of who we are here. But consciousness is always around, which is why when people are doing things like mediums, for instance, and I've only had a few experiences like that, but people who can access spirits and have
Yeah.
direct information, And people, a lot of people doubt that that's ever happened or it's real. But when you get real information that comes through that is so related to the person who's still alive, how can you keep doubting that there's something else?
Exactly, like Akashic records, yeah, like I had also the reading, so that was, yeah, you see,
Mm,
that is a proof that something exists, yeah, that
yeah,
nobody can take
exactly.
that away from us, yeah.
And so we have we have limitations in our thinking because we like to we like the known, meaning that whatever we have known and experienced, that becomes safe. And so stepping outside of that, we lose we become fearful. And one of the things that Wilhelm gave us, which was so fascinating, called kicking and screaming. And they said, think about this, because we're always moving into new dimensions of who we're meant to be as humans and also in the world. But when we think about a baby, when it comes into the world, it's really safe for the 9 months that it's in the womb. But then we bring it out the womb and then it starts kicking and screaming because it's in a place that it doesn't understand, that it doesn't know. And that's what we do when we're moving through different aspects and dimensions of ourselves, because again, it only happens in consciousness.
We are kicking and screaming, and then we come together, and it's like reminding, hey, you don't have to kick and scream, you just
Right.
enjoy the melody,
And
yeah.
that's, yes, and that is it. And I would receive so many messages about being in the present moment, because in the present moment, you're not afraid of stuff because nothing's happened. You're not thinking about your past, you're not in your future, and you're just in that place. But
Yeah.
that's a concept that we don't practice that often. Or we're not usually there. And I mean, I can tell you that's me. And I have to go back to practicing more and more. Even though I've received all of this, I still have to come back to, okay, wait a minute, everything's okay here.
Yeah, one really cool exercise, like technique that I usually do is when I'm too much in my head,
Hmm.
and it's oh my God, it's so powerful. So I just imagine, okay, I landed in this moment, I landed on planet Earth. Yeah.
Yes,
So it's like in this moment, oh, I
yes,
appeared on planet Earth, and there is no past, there is no future. It's just the present moment. So
yes,
there's nothing behind me, nothing, in front of me. It's just the present moment. And sometimes I also visualize this massive, like a eraser, so it's like I physically erase all the past and I physically erase all the future, and it's just the present moment.
good.
It's like, okay, what is here? Everything is here.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah,
she just, okay. Yes, we create a comment. We have our own limitations and attach ourselves to what we know. Yes, yes, yet the uncertainty is a magical place to discover. Fear stops existing and love starts showing, and that is full awareness and consciousness.
yeah,
That is so brilliant. Thank you so much for
beautiful.
that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more because I I talked about I cured my headaches. I had cluster headaches, and I was told that they're incurable. That's what I was told. And this is 21 years ago or something. I read The Power of Now, and Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, and he would say, there is no pain in the present moment. I go,
Hmm.
okay, well, that's an interesting concept. I'm not usually there. And so, and when the headaches would come, I'm trying to do is get away from it. I'm trying to either
Yeah.
be um before they came, I'm trying to be in that place, or after they're gone, whatever it was. So I had to start practicing being in the present moment. And it took a while, because the more that I could allow myself to be there. So it became really a gift, almost, to have gone through this, because I did understand the process and the effectiveness of staying in the present moment as much as you can. And that's mindfulness, changing your brain, and all of that, which we all have the ability to do. So it's just, yeah, it was interesting. Oh,
Amazing.
hey,
Yeah, we
Aaron.
have another question. So, how can we use the power of assumption in this conversation? Okay, I'm just gonna chime in here. So,
Mhm.
assumption, I always smile when I get this word, on the table. So, assumption is mother of all F ups. Yeah. And also, when you assume, you make an ass of me and you. So, assumptions we can get rid of those, yeah, because assumptions are always connected to something in the future, and we are talking about the present moment. And if we are assuming something, we are most probably projecting our beliefs, our subconscious
Mhm.
patterns, our uh, perspectives of the
Mhm.
world. We are projecting that on some other situation. So it's not really objective, it's more subjective. And you don't want to do that. Like when you are, talking to somebody, when you are kind of, I don't know, predicting what's going to happen. So yeah, I
Well,
always say high trust. Yeah, high trust. Trust in higher divine power. Yeah.
and so if you're going to, this is this is interesting. If you're going to assume anything, assume something that's great, assume something that's better, assume something that's more, if you're going to think about it in that way. And which is again about using the power of your intentions and to because that is power when we're consciously putting sorts the energy. That's one of the messages today, as a matter of fact. When you're consciously putting the energy behind a thought that you have, that is the creative power.
I love it. And also another, yeah, can't we assume the best possible outcome? Can't
Yes.
we use our assumption to live in the feeling of wish fulfilled? I would really, I mean, I always what I say is like take bits and pieces that resonate with, like
Mhm.
whatever I say, do not do not hold on to that whatever I say. I just say to people, take bits and pieces that you resonate with and create your own truth. But
Mhm.
my perspective on this, do not use the word assume, but it's a knowing.
Mhm.
When you will really, really embody this knowing
Mhm.
that everything is going to happen in your favor, then, that is powerful. But if you
Mhm.
only assume, that's kind of, I would say, on a very, very shaky, shaky ground. I don't know. That's my perspective. What would you
Yeah.
say, Roger?
Yeah. No, that's it. We have to. Um, our perceptions will shape everything, and they've always been formed. But when we can know that we're creating, and then we can shape our perceptions, and sometimes we have ones that don't serve us, but that also gives us the contrast to choose new ones. And we always, that's the other thing, we always have free will of choice. We always have that. And so, but we can't have experience unless we've done stuff we don't like, made choices that didn't serve us, whatever it might be. So we're always moving to that higher state of consciousness within us, and that's what we're meant to do. Uh,
Amazing. Yeah. And another one, as we ascend into the new human and new earth version of ourselves,
mhm.
how important is our ability to control our state of being? I would,
Oh,
yeah, if you can answer the question.
I, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Give me that one again. Oh,
As we ascend into the new human and new earth version of ourselves, how
mhm.
important is our ability to control our state of being? I can share my perspective later, but I would recommend.
No, no, no. That's good. Go ahead, and I'll do the one about the headache thing because I didn't see that.
Okay. So how important is our ability to control our state of being?
That
Um, how I see it is I I don't control my state of being,
mhm.
because like when we are controlling, we are like holding on to something and we are like how it's supposed to be. And
Mhm.
I just say how it is, and you just accept whatever it is. So I'm not like, oh my god, I need to be in 5D state of being all the time. Oh my god, I cannot be angry. Oh my god, like that's controlling, because with control you always end up in frustration when you try to control something and
Mhm.
it doesn't end up how you thought. So it's more like just let it go. And when you let it go, and when you are aware that whatever is happening, whatever is going through your body, through your system, it's just flowing through, whether it's emotion, so energy in motion, you are not holding on, but you are a vessel.
Mhm.
And this state of being, it's gonna change all the time, because we're multidimensional. And for me, that's the answer. For me, there's the power.
And you can think of it as emotional regulation too. That's what we're always doing, is learning how to process through them, because we're going to have them, as you said, and we don't want to cut them off. We're going to have them, but how do we move through? That's the thing that I have hanging on my wall that came through years ago. Your emotions are not an end of themselves. They are designed to lead you to your beliefs. Your beliefs may or may not be based in truth.
Exactly.
And so we're
Yep.
always working with them and always figuring out more. So yeah,
Perfect.
but it's not about, like you said, not about stopping them, but we want them to come through, because we want to have a human experience, but we want to then feel good. So we have to then learn how we can regulate them to get to that higher state of understanding within us, and that's how we experience greater peace or higher versions of ourselves.
Perfect. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. This is a Reina's comment that you said that you're gonna comment as well.
Oh, okay. What was it? Let me
Totally
just say,
very
so,
true.
Roger, I
Very
lived in
correct.
with brain surgery at 16, and in that moment of stepping into surgery, I chose to let go, trust, and been embraced by infinite love. Yes, and that is so powerful, because if we can do that, and trust is so important, because and we can think about that in the emotional regulation again, because when we're trusting, we're not gripping, we're not going into the fear, which is constricting again. And so that's brilliant. And at 16 you did that. That's brilliant.
Thank you. Oh, Omar, happy Monday, all. Amazing. Okay, what exactly is ascension?
Oh, that was so funny. Thanks, Aaron. That was so funny, because somebody said that to me one day. This was back several years ago. And I said, I don't know. And I was listening to somebody else talking about it. And then I go and I look and I said, oh, Wilhelm gave me that information a long time ago. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find it. I'm going to read it, because
Yeah,
that'll
sure.
be yeah. Let me just find it. It'll just take me a second. And it was the funny thing about it. I didn't know that I had it. This goes on a lot, actually, because I just here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. You can also think of you can all this is giving us the definition of ascension. You can also think of the process of expansion in terms of uh, uh I'm sorry. Let me okay, here. You can also think of you can also think of the process of uh, of expansion in terms used here, and it will be figurative or literal. Let me go on my. I can't do this. Let me go on my desktop. I can't read it
No
on my
problem.
phone, and I really want to give you this one, because it was such a good one, and I think everybody will kind of get it. It took me a while to figure it out as they were as it was coming through. I mean, when I went back to actually find it, and it was, I think it was 2013. Uh, yeah, the process of, yeah, here it is. Okay. You can also think of the process of expansion as ascending to the light. Some of the terms used here will be figurative and some will be literal, and you will decide which to use to gain the meaning. You are you are attempting then to become lighter, to ascend to that light. This requires your willingness to shed some weight in order to accomplish this. At times, that weight that you carry is your past. Anything that was done or accomplished beyond this moment of now can be thought of as your past, even as recently as yesterday, to help you grasp the meaning here. All that past then has served its purpose. And as you become willing to drop it, you become lighter and able to ascend. This may all seem a bit esoteric, but it also does not have to be. Simply stop weighing yourself down. That was a
Beautiful.
message.
Yeah, beautiful. It is. Exactly. It's because we become lighter, when we are
Mhm.
releasing all the weight that we don't want, that we don't need, that
Yes,
whatever doesn't serve us, we are releasing that. We are letting go, and we are becoming light beings, but also lighter beings.
yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, thank
Awesome.
you. This was good.
Yeah, amazing. You see, we made it through
Mhm.
without Yarna.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so
Great.
we have another one on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I'll have to look at the schedule. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Great.
Okay. I think I'm going to create the event. So we have another one on Wednesday, and we're going to continue with this transmissions and valuable energy exchange that we are doing it. And thank you very much for everyone who
Yes.
is watching now and who's going to watch the recordings that are posted on every social media. Thank you, Roger. This
Great.
was
Thank
fun.
you. Alrighty. We'll see you all later. Great.
Amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
See you on Wednesday. Bye bye.